Hi everyone and welcome to another video. Now this is a very retro feel to this one. It's a Fujitsu Lifebook S6120 that was released in 2003. Now the case is a bit scratched, but these laptops are renowned for their sturdiness, and opening it up like that, this keyboard is one of the most sturdy and best I've used for a long time. There's a great feel to the keys and it just feels very solid, and the trackpad's decent, and the mice buttons as well. The screen's nothing to shout about, but it's still usable. So what I've done to this is I've upgraded the RAM to 1 gig. Now I think that's the maximum this laptop will actually take. So that's all done. Again, with a lot of older laptops, it's just a matter of going onto the back and undoing 2 screws on this panel here, and the panel lifts off. You just pull the RAM sticks out. So easy. Same with the hard drive and the battery. Now the hard drive is not a SATA connection, it's a proprietary one, and I'm not going to put a SSD in there because all my SSDs, spare SSDs, are SATA connections, so they won't fit. So you've got two USB ports on the back, usual Ethernet, but I'm not going to connect this up to the net, and it's got a VGA monitor port there. Power supply socket there, and what I'll do is I'll put the technical spec of this laptop in the description, but if you want to know now, it's an Intel Pentium M 1.6 gigahertz, and it's got its own internal graphics, which I think it takes 64 gig of memory from the RAM to run that. What I've done is there was some updated video drivers for Windows XP, which this laptop runs on the net, so I've downloaded those and updated that, and it's on Windows XP Service Pack 3. So what I'm going to do is load up some games and just see if we can game on this laptop, or Lifebook as it were, from 2003. Okay, so the first game we're looking at is Doom from 1993, and this laptop has no problems running that. The only thing I've noticed is some of the sound effects don't sound quite right, so obviously that needs a bit of attention, but you're not going to have a problem playing Doom 3 and games that run this engine like Hexen and Heretic. That should be fine. This game is similar to Doom, except you can look in any direction. It's Nukem. So yeah, similar sort of gameplay. It's a 3D shooter with a bit of exploration. Yeah, no problems with this. I haven't actually played this all the way through, but the humour in it's quite decent, so yeah, if you want to have a bash at this, no problem at all. Right, so that's Duke Nukem. And this is FIFA 2004, so you can be sure that this machine will play all the earlier FIFAs prior to this without any problems. I've got FIFA 2007 and I tried that, and for some reason the games seem to have been speeded up, so there must be some settings in there that I need to slow the game down, which is a bit strange. But this game, FIFA 2004, I'm sure you can probably nudge the settings up a bit, but with all these games I tend to play them on the lowest graphical quality settings just to give this machine a bit of a chance to give decent frame rates. Okay, so that's FIFA 2004. This is a game in the first series of Halo games. First appeared on the Xbox, but this is the first one that was released on the PC. Now at the moment, with some firefighting, not too bad. Definitely playable on with all, as I say, with all the settings set to low. So yeah, that's Halo. You probably hear the laptop's fan running quite high, which is considering the amount of work it's having to do, it's not totally unexpected. Okay, so that's Halo. Now, this is a game called Devastation, which seems to be a Half-Life clone. There's nothing wrong with that, but graphics look okay. I'm sure with a smaller monitor it'll look even better, but this is on a 24-inch monitor. There's not a lot going on, but still some decent graphical effects in this game. So from what I've seen so far, anyway. I mean, obviously it's on the lowest possible resolution and quality. So yeah, if you want to play another Half-Life clone, then Devastation's the way to go. This is the first racing game, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. So I think you can be sure that any games before this laptop will play it quite happily. It's quite a comprehensive racing series, Need for Speed 2. So I'm sure you're going to have a decent gaming experience. Some of these early racing games can be quite playable if the graphics are not up to modern standards. The playability is usually quite decent if you set all the quality levels to low, of course. Okay, so that's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Now this is the first Serious Sam game. It surprised me actually, this one, because it's quite an advanced graphics engine for the time. In fact, it's one of the best looking I've seen, and there's a lot of large moving characters on the screen at the same time, and yet this laptop seems to cope with it quite well. So if you want to check out the first Serious Sam, this laptop is actually, you're not going to have too much problems really, providing obviously you set it on the lowest graphical settings. So yeah, please check out the first Serious Sam, and actually the subsequent games in this series are good as well. Okay, so that's the first Serious Sam. Now this is World Championship Snooker from 2004, and obviously with not a lot going on, this laptop has no problem playing this, and I'm sure it'll play similar slower paced games from around that time, which I think this was released late 2003. Okay, so that's World Championship Snooker 2004. This is the first Call of Duty game. This game series is quite comprehensive, and I'm sure it's a familiar to a lot of people. But this is where it all started. I say the graphics aren't the best, but from what I've played so far, there's the playability is there, so it's definitely worth a look if you sort of want to reminisce and see where this game series started. Obviously I've got it on the as with as with everything, I've got it on the lowest quality settings. But as I said before, this does play quite well. If the graphics aren't exactly up to modern standards, but on this machine it's all right. So yeah, that's Call of Duty. This is Half-Life 2. Now the laptop shouldn't have any problems running the first Half-Life, so I thought I'd give it a test on Half-Life 2 because the engine's been upgraded. Now I tried to change the graphical quality settings to low on all options, but the game crashed. So I think I'll probably, to get these settings changed, you might have to even go into the config file. There's always usually a config file you can manually adjust a few of the settings. But at the moment, with not a lot going on, it's not too bad. I can't have Bandicam running because it would just strain the processor too much. So you'll have to take my word for it that this is at the moment on the opening scene, this is a decent enough experience. But as I say, I'll probably have to nudge the quality settings down a bit if there's a lot going on. Okay, so that's Half-Life 2.